Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Marvelous Monday. I'm Leslie Watkins. I've been collecting a bunch of stuff on my desk and I'm sure we all have these little bits and pieces flying around left over from projects. And I thought it'd be fun to just have some fun today playing with these things and seeing if we can't come up with some kind of a cute eclectic design. So I'm going to get into all my little goodie bags that I collect, my cases that are filled with all sorts of die cuts and various materials, scraps of paper, some watercolor paper. I've got a bunch of scraps of linen paper in here, needle and thread. So all sorts of things. I've got some gems and a doily. Just a few gems left on there, so maybe we could use those up. Envelopes. So I don't know where this is going to go today, but I thought it'd be fun to try to use some of these scraps and turn them into something. So on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, I showed you a where is that thing? Oh, this. I think I showed you this little note card holder. So while I was putting these together, I ended up with a couple of extras. So I've got some extra folders, and I thought that these would be a great surface to work the design on. And the way I'm going to do that is with a base. So I've got a little piece of crumb cake here. When I'm working with something that is a prototype or I don't know where it's going and I'm just kind of experimenting, I like to stick to neutral colors because I can always change the colors up later for any particular project. But the neutrals help me to focus on the texture, the design, and the values of the thing without being distracted by a lot of color. Although I do have some bits and pieces of different colors around here as well. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure I'm broadcasting, and that looks good. And there's Kelly. Good morning, Kelly, and Sandra. So nice to see you here on a beautiful Sunday morning, not Sunday, Monday morning. All right, so I'm going to just find some things that look good. I've got this, a lot of these things have already been either die cut or heat embossed or have some sort of treatment done to them. So I've got this really cute little flower. I'll zoom you in. So I've got this very cute little flower that has a little gold pearl in the center. I've got a little scrap of burlap here. One of my peacock feathers. This is one of the little feathers that comes off their chest. And I have another very nice peacock feather here. So this is one of the sword feathers. That could be fun. This was a die cut, or maybe it was fussy cut. This was from that wonderful stamp set that was given to us. I'm trying to think, was it the beginning of this current catalog? And unfortunately, it did not stamp well. There was a problem, and the ink would build up around the edges, and I was so upset because I was thrilled to have this stamp set. I absolutely loved it. So even though it doesn't stamp very well, I can still use my watercolors and fix up the areas that didn't stamp well. The stamp set itself was pulled. It's no longer available. But those of us that did get it with the announcement of the new catalog had varying degrees of success with it. But I think I'm going to use that today because it's so darn cute. It's a little wren, and you can always tell a wren by their long beak and their short, stubby, upright tail. And all winter long, I've had one of these at my bird feeder, and it's my absolute favorite bird out there. So I think you can see why I was so sad when the stamp set was pulled. I was hoping that they were going to bring it back fixed, but unfortunately that did not happen. I would be so happy if they did. Wow, that would be my favorite. And what else do I have here? Oh, I've got a tiny little peacock feather. So some of the peacock feathers are very tiny, the eyes, and they work great on the note card designs. I've got a little scrap of gold trim. And let's see, what else is in here? I've got a candy wrapper. Okay, I think those of you who are like me and addicted to the Ferrero Rochers, I think you'll recognize that wrapper. Here's a very fancy flower that's made up of some shiny DSP, and trying to remember the name of that DSP. It was last fall, I think. Beautiful, beautiful DSP. For those of you who don't know, DSP means Designer Series Paper, and they are double-sided papers that are 12 by 12, and they're all archival, and they work great for paper crafting projects. They won't crack and break the way some of the more readily available papers do. This is a piece of metallic trim, gold metallic trim, and it's actually got little metal threads in it, and I like that. Those of you who know me know that I like to put a little bit of bling in my designs. So let's get some paper. Uh-oh. There's the candy wrapper. That goes with that. And let's see, I've got some stamped and die cut images in here. This looks pretty nice. This is from the Blessings of Home set, and it's a nice neutral. That could be useful. What else is in here? A bunch of bees. I think I'm going to stick with the bird theme today, not so much of the bees. And let's see if there's anything else in here of interest. I don't think so. But let's take a quick peek in this box because I know that there's a whole bunch of things in here. Oh, these are very special. I don't know if you can see those. These are the tiny little fancy feathers that come off of the peacock's head. And these are really hard to find. And I do not pluck the feathers from my peacock. They molt each year. So these feathers fall off naturally. And I go out there every day to scoop them all up before they get wrecked. And it is so darn hard to find these tiny little head decorations that when I do find one, I put it in this little plastic envelope to keep it safe. I wonder if I'll use one of those today. I'll just put that to the side here as a maybe, as a definite maybe. Oh, these are good. These are little gold foil die cut snippets that I just trimmed off the bits that I wasn't going to use, and I saved them for another day, and that may very well be today. And here's another, this is from the Ranunculus Romance, so this is another stamped and die cut image. Here's a colored one. I don't think I'm going to go with the color today. And here's a doily I can use as a stencil. And actually, here's a scrap of stenciled paper. I think you could see that. That could be pretty. All right, well, I think I've got enough to get started. I can always come back here and rummage through some more. But I think you can see that when you save all these little pieces, after a while you get quite a collection. Oh, look, there's another one of those flowers. That's good. And there's another one. Excellent. Yeah, this paper. What the heck was the name of that? You all probably remember. It was the one with the owls on it. So pretty. Let me see if anybody remembers. Hey, Patricia, Danette, Becky. Yeah, the Wrens. Oh, Julia. Julia's here. Hey, Julia. Julia's my upline, everybody. I hardly ever get to see her anymore. We used to see each other all the time. We'd go walking together, but ever since this ridiculous pandemic came about, we've kind of lost our connection. So I hope we can do that soon, Julia. Please, I'm ready. Ready to go walking. Yeah, there's a lot of folks on here. Okay, I better get busy and stop talking. Oh, well, here's a sentiment. You know, and some of these things were tucked away because they weren't perfect, but so what? I mean, they don't have to be perfect. So this one, I didn't use it at the time because I thought that the words were a little bit close to the edge, but look at that beautiful little border on that label. So I think I'll use that. All right, let's see what happens here. I do want to grab some of this linen paper. These linen paper scraps. See, they're just tiny, but they're still perfectly usable. And I've got some more of those. Got some needle and thread is always good. All right. Clear the deck. This is a big mess right now. So here's my base. And I think what I'd like to do is go ahead and start stenciling this because it would be fun to see a little bit of that around the edges. So I'm just going to use my crumb cake ink for a little tone on tone. And let's see, here's my sponge. I hope I have enough ink in here. Everything's drying up from the fire. I'm going to have to spend an entire day replenishing all my ink pads to get them juicy again. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so that gives me something that looks like that. It almost makes the cardstock look as though you've tea stained it with lace. So this is a very nice, quick and easy way to get that effect. And I'm just going around the edges because the middle will be covered up. Okay, very good. Now let's see what I can do with some texture here. This is a little downy under feather, very fluffy. I don't usually use these with the cards because they don't have any color or shine to them, but maybe for a little added texture today that could be fun. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear this gold foil down, so I have a little rectangular area for it. Actually, you know what? I have a tear ruler, which looks like this. And this gives you a nice deckled edge. So you have a choice of this very coarse edge or this finer edge. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. So I'm just gonna go all the way around so I don't have any straight edges. Okay, now let's see how that fits on there. So far so good. I can hear Houdini letting me know he wants to go out. It's another sunny spring day here. I'm going to have to run out and let the chickens out after I do my design here today. Just for the sake of time, I think what I'm going to do, because this is the metallic foil, I'm going to use a combination here. I'm going to grab my double stick tape because the foil is not as absorbent as the, now I have to do this very carefully so I don't use my fingernail. Because the foil is not as absorbent, it's going to take a little longer for the glue to dry. So I'm just going to use this for now. That'll hold it down while I continue to work. Let's see what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay. Candy wrapper on. Now where's that other piece? Let's see if I can get this to lay a little flatter. This already has some glue on it. Okay, and pick one of these flowers. My little bird. That one kind of gets lost in the background. This one might be a little bit better. That works better. And you see I had recycled this piece of cardstock. Apparently I had stamped something on the back of it and wasn't happy with that, so I just flipped it over and used the other side. I want to cut that little triangle out of there. Get it started. Love my snips. They're just the right size to be able to do all these fine little jobs without being too tiny. They're perfect, really. These snips have got to be 5 years old. Hey, that reminds me. What is today? Today's the 21st. Tomorrow is my 5-year anniversary with Stampin' Up! How exciting is that? Wow, that time flies. Now that's better. I like that. I think I want to sponge him a little bit, so I'm going to get my crumb cake back out again. Just want to knock it down a little bit because this was stamped on the very vanilla. I still want the bird to have a pale colored chest and belly, but I'm just going around the edges and on that branch so that doesn't pop out so much. Okay. Oops, I lost my card. Alright, that's very cute. Let's get that down. You know what? I've got an idea. Because tomorrow is my 5-year anniversary, I'm going to issue a challenge to everybody who comments today on this post. If you comment and say something, I'm going to have a drawing for a surprise gift. And if you get picked in the drawing, I will let you know under your post, and then you can direct message me your mailing address and I will send you a surprise in the mail. Celebrate my 5-year anniversary. So I guess you should say something. So say happy 5 or happy 5th anniversary, something like that. And all the people that do that today, I'm going to put your name on one of those spinner wheels, and it's a random picker, and whoever wins is going to get a little something in the mail from me. All right, so I kind of like this. My little candy wrapper bird. So these are my sort of flat layers, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a few little embellishments. Get you zoomed out. And I need my glue dots. Put one flower over here. And another one in this side. Oops, stuck to my finger. Get on there. Oops. Stuck to my piercing tool. I'm going to tuck this under here so that they each prop each other up. All right. Now what does this sentiment say? My heart is smiling because of you. This is actually a gold embossed sentiment, so that's kind of nice. Okay, I think for this, I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals in the middle. That waves up a little bit, and then I'll add my glue dots to the parts that stick down. I think I want this a little bit at an angle. And I think for the, oh, let's take this last little, these are the genial gems. They're very pretty. I think I'll put that there. And put one down there. Do one more. Where will this go? How about, I'll put it down there, tucked in with the flowers. Okay, and then we have to put a feather, right? So we're going to have to pick one of these feathers. That's really pretty. I like that this downy under feather, okay, where'd my glue dots? Here they are. This downy under feather acts as a sort of a scrim. I think that's what they call it in theatrical productions, a scrim. So it's going to soften without obscuring what's behind it. So I'm just going to see if I can get this to stop sticking to my finger. And tuck that. Maybe my tweezers will be helpful here. Let's see. This could be tricky. There we go. I got it. Nice. All right. Let me clear some of this away so not so much stuff around here. Ooh, I also have this little feather. I wonder if I could squeeze that in. Just going to make it a little bit smaller. I love these excuse me, these subtle kind of striped feathers. These are also from the peacocks. Okay, let's see if I can get that in there. go. All right. So there it is. Let me get my little folder out. And by the way, everybody, there is a host code, which I'm going to put up on the screen here, for everybody who uses this host code for a $50 or more purchase before the end of the month. So you have to do this before March 31st. You will get the video with the measurements to make this cute little note card folder. And you can go back to the video on Saturday, the one just before this one, and get a better look at it. But I'll also post this host code below. Oh, I want to do something else. I want to add a piece of ribbon to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, let me think. Yeah, I'm going to take my tear and tape. Love this stuff. And I'm going to run this right around my entire folder here. I'm going to add a piece of ribbon. And I have this ribbon handy, so I may as well just use this. And I think this may be a retired ribbon. It looks like it's mint macaroon. Tie that down. Hopefully I gave myself enough. All right, now I'll put my decoration on the front. For those of you who are regular visitors to my page and who are in my Dandelion Paper Pals group, I'm going to give you a challenge for you to take all the little odds and ends off of your your desk and in your jars and boxes and envelopes and put together a decoration using up those scraps. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Coffee time. So there it is. There's my project for today. Now, of course, these note card holders will fit 4 envelopes and note cards on the inside. And you can get the instructions to that with an order of $50 or more. And you use the host code. I'll put that back up again. So here's that host code. So if you'd like to get the instructions for this for free, just place an order and you will get that. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll be back on Wednesday for Watercolor Wednesday. If you'd like to learn more about my classes and events and workshops, oh, by the way, there is exactly 1 deluxe box left in the Honeybee Workshop. So if that's something that you're interested in, you're going to have to sign up for that immediately, because they'll be gone by the end of the day today. And I will post that below as well after I do the video. So I think that's what I've got to say. Have a wonderful week. Stay well, be happy, stay creative, and I will see you next time.